Okay, today let's look at Power BI. And first, we want to look at the files we will get. Sometimes we have an Excel file, but we have multiple files rather than one single file. Let's open a few to look what it look like. So basically, the files is the same structure, but cut it by the region, right? A, B, and B, C, Alberta, and British Columbia. So we want to load this file into Power BI at once. I'm showing you how to do that. First thing, you can open a Power BI. There's a welcome dashboard, but you can ignore that, or you can go to the get data. But for now, just ignore that. And if you go to get data, find more, and we go to the folders, connect with the folder contains all the files. And once it's loaded, we will get this kind of table here. But this table doesn't contain any detail of the data here. Only give you the information of the files. So we need to transform data. So once you click on that, it will show you here is the Power Query panel, which is a very powerful tool. You can also use this one in Excel, but here we just use that for Power BI here. So the things you need to do is, first we need to add a column contains the content of these Excel workbooks. So we add a column, custom column. And in the custom column formula, we type workbook, Excel workbook, then you raise a parenthesis, bracket, content. You can change the name, but it doesn't matter too much for now. So I just leave it as default. Okay. Now we will get a new column called custom. Let's expand that. Use this icon to expand. They have several things, but what we need is just the data. And the data is kind of table here. So we do that again to expand the data. Click OK. So now we have our data in the extra columns here. But the problem is, so we don't have the header. Before we do that, we could remove the columns that we don't need. Right? That's a very easy way to do it. Is do the home, remove other columns. But one information I want is, because there's no region in this file, so we want also include the name of the file. So use Control key to choose this column as well. So now we choose every data in the files and the file name here. We can remove other columns here. Okay. Now we get the information we need. And the thing is, we want the first row becomes to the column name. Then we need to transform. Use first row as headers. Okay, see here. Now we get another problem. It shows by the green, which means this column is fine, but with red, which means there's some error in this row. And we also have a problem with this column name. Let's first change this column name to the region. Right click, rename to region. We have region. Province. I'll try that. Province. Then we want any part that's before the dot xlsx. So we need to do extraction. So use the transform extract. So what we want is anything before the delimiter for dot. So dot. Okay. Now the table only contains the province name. Okay, so let's scroll down a little bit. We found some error here. Which means at some point this data is invalid. We see here is error, because we combine all the table into one. So that's something that is not feasible for this column, which is a date, right? The Power BI automatically detect this column is date, and this one is something that cannot be date. So how to fix this? We have more than one here. So the easiest way is just right click on this column and remove the errors. Okay, now we see the date is clean. And we also have some black ones, which means we have no values here, right? So for example, let's say we want anything that is empty or null, we convert that into 0. So we can replace values. Let's use replace value. Okay, we see now we don't have the null value here. Let's do the same thing for the death. See, now everything is in a good shape. Now we finish some basic data cleaning for this table. So let's finish this. And notice we have the steps here, which means if you did something wrong, you don't have to go back and do that again. You just delete any step that you don't want to. For example, let's say if I want to undo the delete on the cases, let's just delete the cases when replace value for the cases. For the now you can see for the dash, because we still keep this one, the dash still 0, but cases we have no here, see the black here. So that means you don't have to do in a sequence. You can jump over some. Let's redo that for replace value from null to 0. Okay, now we can finish, close. Yes, you want to save. Now just wait for a while. The Power BI will load the table into the standard format here. Now you can see we have the columns here. Then we can explore the data.